3, 2, 1. Let me put my mic on. Wait there.
Hello, and
gentlemen.
welcome back. Wait for a second before Jack is back.
Welcome back.
To Bridging Universes.
Episode.
I have no clue.
We have no clue. We have no clue which episode we're on.
Today is a very special day because we're in Atlas.
We're in Atlas Valley.
This is our co-working space and also the hostel where we met.
Yeah, it is also the hostel where we met last
October?
Oh, before maybe that?
No, I came back in October.
Oh, okay, October. So yeah, Atlas Valley is a hostel in Pai, Thailand, which most of you may have been to. Some of you that follow us may have been there. But it is how would you describe Atlas? A conscious living hostel, right? It's like a hostel that is very much about doing fun activities that make you express yourself.
It's a special place, I would say.
Special place.
It's beautiful. And they have the most magical shala where we're sitting today. If you're looking at this on YouTube, please admire the view for a second.
Look at this.
It's gorgeous.
This is insane.
I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of this hostel.
I really hope they can see us. If it's a little dark, we apologise.
Go a little bit closer.
That's better.
That looks
So now we can actually see each other. So yeah, Nadine, what are we going to talk about today?
Today...
Firstly, can we just say how your week's been so far?
How my week's been?
How has your week been so far?
My week's been interesting because I was having some lady problems, I would say. Everyone with a lunar-based body knows that sometimes we have cramps and hormones, and that was my week. I was very, for the girls into cycle tracking, luteal phase.
Ooh. Big what phase?
Luteal.
Luteal phase.
Yeah, which means the phase before the bleed.
Okay.
Where you just get... Did I get snappy at you? No.
Not snappy. Definitely a bit more emotional.
I was just a bit emotional. I had a lot of cramps.
Need a bit more of love. Need a bit more... You know, this is the thing. When women go through their cycle, you know, like, you do need a bit more love and a bit more cuddles. A few more cuddles and a few more, kisses. Yeah.
I was mostly just very tired and I had a lot of cramps and it made me annoyed. I remember actually at this hostel, one of my friends was like, "How are you?" And I just yelled at him, "I don't know." So yeah, that's my week.
Okay.
How's your week?
My week's been good. Busy. Again, another busy week. I feel like right now I'm in like a stage, like a grow stage. Again, I'm always in a grow stage in Pi, to be honest. Always happens to be that I'm moving through personal things and through new career changes, new opportunities, new projects, some exciting projects coming up in the next few months, which is super exciting whilst we're here for high season.
Yeah.
And we spoke about our plans for March when we leave here this week.
True.
We spoke about possibly going back to Europe.
No, we're going to go to India first for my birthday in April.
Yes.
And then afterwards, we'll make our way to Europe.
To Europe.
We're going to go to England and to the Netherlands.
That's super exciting. I've never been to the Netherlands, actually. No, I've been to Amsterdam. That's not Netherlands though, right?
That's the Netherlands.
It's not separate?
No? Why would that be separate?
I don't know. If it had its own...
No, that's the biggest city in the Netherlands. Part of the Netherlands.
Dumb moment.
I think that's because London is a separate part of the UK, right?
It has a separate policing system, yeah. And it has its own, it's slightly different. People that didn't know that the city of London is actually apparently not part of the UK.
Actually, I've only been to London. I've never been anywhere else in the UK.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting. We're going to meet each other's family.
Ooh.
Oh, my parents have seen you.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my parents have seen Jack spin fire.
Yeah.
And now my whole family thinks that I have a relationship with like a circus artist who is extremely good in playing with fire.
Yeah. That's me.
Well, there is a lot more to
me.
you, but it's part of you.
So, yeah. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about self-love.
Ooh.
Can we take a moment to say how many mosquitoes there have been last week?
Oh, yeah.
My legs are covered.
Too many mosquitoes, like way too many mosquitoes.
Yeah. It's been raining a lot.
Yeah, the rain's come. But yeah, we're moving into the hotter months in the next month. The next month's going to be warm and then get even more warm. Just make sure we've got the aircon remote. Our place doesn't have aircon right now.
I don't like aircons anyway.
I need aircon. in high season, we are going to need aircon. It's like 40 degrees here, so we need aircon.
I enjoy my life with a fan, but
That's fine.
okay.
So yeah,
Do you realize that now we have plans for like almost a year?
I know. I know.
Who would have thought a year ago?
Who would
This
have
is fun,
thought?
actually. It's October
It's
now.
really nice
like...
actually, because this month so many things have popped up on my Facebook and like different things, my phone, saying, "Oh, this was a year ago." And like even now, I'm noticing the festival in town is at the back of Pie. That festival is happening soon because all the nice neon lights have come out and blah blah blah. So it's funny to see like all the things going full circle again. And then Sia posted a video of us doing Frozen Frequencies last time, and like, yeah, it's like that was a whole year ago. Like that's gone so quick. Think of all of the crazy stuff that's happened in the last year. Wow, it's gone super
You know how
quick.
funny it is to realize that now we know each other a year?
I know.
We've been friends for a year.
I know. That's so strange. That's so crazy. For a year, friendship.
Who would have thought when we met each other?
I know. With a fire up, yeah.
That's actually insane.
Yeah. Quick little secret for you all. This week, I am potentially getting my new prop, my new fire prop, which is in fact a skipping rope.
It's going to be really cool.
Don't tell anyone. I'm going to practice with it like at home, so no one's going to see. And then I'm just going to turn up to the show and just be like, no one's going to know what I'm doing. And I'm just going to come out with a skipping rope. People will be like, what the fuck?
Very
I'm
nice.
super excited for that. Really excited. Okay,
It's going to be really cool.
Self-love.
What is self-love, Jack?
What is self-love?
Do you love yourself?
I love myself so much. I never used to love myself before. I had a very low sense of self-love. And when I say self-love, I mean, I didn't put myself first. I used to put other people first all the time. Because I guess I believed that by giving other people attention or giving, love to people outside of myself was the way that people would love me. And then I would then in turn love myself, when actually focusing on yourself first means that then you can actually love from a authentic place, from loving yourself. Because they say, right, like you have to get love for yourself until you love yourself, right?
You can only love someone else as deep as you love yourself.
As deep as you love yourself.
Because you can only meet someone else as deep as you've met yourself. So
yeah, I guess self-love for me would be prioritizing myself, putting myself first, doing the things that I like to do, that I know my soul likes, that my body needs. Because there's two different things for me. Things that enrich my soul and things that enrich my body. And all of it is part of taking care of myself, which means for me, is what self-love means for me. It's many aspects of that, I guess.
There's so much to say.
And how you can show yourself self-love is different to how you feel love for yourself. Because feeling love, we could do all the things we want, right? We could go for a walk, we can read, we can do all the nice things we know we need to do. But actually feeling like you love yourself can be different, right?
Yeah, I think the feeling the love for yourself can be really profound, but it can also be really... Very good. Jack is finally learning how to sit up straight.
Yeah.
It took me and my yogi talk weeks and months until I finally realized that actually it makes him look bigger, so he has to go to the gym less.
Yes, it's true. It's hard though. It's not easy to sit up straight. It's not easy
Let's
to sit
do a
up straight.
challenge. Who can sit up straight for the longest during this episode?
You're obviously going to win that. Obviously. You're obviously going to win that. Okay, so yeah, self-love. What else is it? What does it mean to you?
Actually, I think now that I'm thinking of it, like self-love for me, I do love myself and I have a lot of love for myself. However, I do think that for me, self-love is still a little bit more of a conscious practice than it might be for you, which is also based on my experiences and my previous relationships. Like, obviously, we all have different paths, and for me, I've just had some experiences when I was pretty young, when I was still a teenager, that really make me question my self-worth, make me question the love I have for myself. And it took me a really long time and a lot of therapy and a lot of work to realize, okay, I do love myself, but there's still a part of me that feels like she has to prove herself to be loved. I think that therefore for me, self-love is still a little bit of a practice where I'm very well aware of I am worthy, I am loved, and I adore a lot of things about myself. While at the same time, when it comes to my self-love in relationship to my relationships, to my friendships, there's still a part of me that sometimes is very prone to seek that validation outside of herself instead of like having that rock solid feeling of like, I am good enough, I love myself, and this is amazing. I think that's okay. I think that life is just a journey of learning to love yourself more and more. And I think to me, relationships are a way to learn how to love yourself more as well. But I do think that self-love is beautiful to me, but it is something I actively have to choose and have to engage in, and it doesn't always come natural to me.
No, because we get sidetracked, right? And like, I guess for me, same for me, I get sidetracked and forget sometimes that I need to do the things. Not sitting up straight.
No.
I'm gonna slouch, I get. Yeah, I forget definitely to do the things that I need to do, or should do, could do,
Want to do.
want to do, yeah, to keep myself in a good headspace, to keep my body in the right place, or to be feeling good in my body. And it can, I guess, leak into so many different areas, like your diet, you know, like things like that, like the foods you eat. It's all part of that process of keeping your body as a sanctuary, as your own inner sanctuary. But I guess I get what you're saying. Like, sometimes it's hard not to tie external validation to your self-worth or how much you love yourself. I think a lot of people do that as well.
I think it's a very
Achievements and
common thing to like forget that we can love ourselves for just simply who we are instead of for how we make other people feel, how our relationships go, the achievements we have indeed. And I think that if I take the time to do my sadhana, spend time with
what's a
myself.
sadhana?
Sadhana is your daily practice. It's like a daily commitment.
So-
It's a Sanskrit word for commitments.
So you in the morning going, hi, 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 in the morning. That's the sadhana.
That's the
huh?
sadhana, yeah, that's part of my
For those of you
sadhana.
that don't know, Nadine has this thing in the morning sometimes where she goes, and she's like, hey, like,
What is
it's breath work, obviously, but she has this, sadhana. So sorry, I was
It's
interrupted.
just part of Kundalini Kriya. It's a pranayama.
Kundalini.
Ooh. But yeah, I think that
Serpent snake.
I think that it can be really easy for me to get caught up in like work and all the things I want to do and like my relationship with you, my relationship with my friends.
Oh,
and
shit,
like,
what do you mean? Relationship with me?
I don't have a relationship with you.
What do you mean? We're not together. Yeah, we are. Of course we are. Everyone knows that by now, surely. I'm talking to the mic.
For those of you who are just on Spotify, Jack is kind of like talking into his microphone and making it look very interesting.
So yeah, we're in a relationship. Wow.
Oh,
nice.
are we?
How does that feel for you?
How does that feel for me?
Going off topic, but
I think being in a relationship in general with you feels really easy. I think it became really natural. And at the same time, it's also extremely
triggering.
confronting, I would say. Triggering. I mean,
Triggering, mirroring.
like a lot of mirrors. But
Can you talk about that quickly after mirrors?
Yeah.
Just to explain that point quickly, because some people will be like, mirrors. What do you mean mirrors? Like,
I can.
and because it ties well with self-love, because actually being in a relationship, I feel like actually helps you to love yourself more and does show you self-love, because you actually have to honor yourself. In a true relationship, you have to honor yourself more with your boundaries and stuff like that and communicate. So actually that
I actually
proves...
have a really beautiful example, but okay,
Okay.
so to go back to self-love, wait, no, first, how does it feel for you to be in a relationship?
How does it feel for me? Ooh. How does it feel for me? So up until recently, I was single for like 2 years, and the last relationships I had were very unhealthy from my side and from their side. And I realized that I didn't really understand what a true relationship was or a true connection was. And now I'm finding that out through our relationship and talking and understanding each other on a much deeper level. And it makes me happy and I'm proud of it. Like, I'm proud to have a partner that I can really rely on and really trust, and know that she, like me, is also working towards, you know, the same sort of purpose and same sort of meaning of life of helping people and discovering herself, which is something I'm deeply passionate about. So I just love you. I love how that went from like, how do you feel in a relationship to literally just, I love you. But yeah, super happy. Great sex. Great in the bed.
We're gonna cut that
We're
out.
not going to cut out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's clickbait.
I think Jack loves to use me as a marketing tool for his social media.
I like to use Nadine in many ways. Clickbait,
Yeah.
clickbait. I'm just putting clickbait lines in. We've got to start to up. We've got to start to up the ante. We're playing too safe. We've got to start playing less safe and
So-
less like. Sometimes I feel like we just need to say the things that we want to say and put it in there because that's what's going to happen. People are going to be like, these people are real. These people are real.
But-
I'll tell you something. You know, maybe I won't say that. I won't say that.
Please stop talking in your microphone.
Okay.
But I think to conclude that, I think our relationship does make me very happy indeed. And it feels really flowy and easy, while it's also really fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the beauty of it. But it's really new to me as well to really feel like someone is on your team and you're together, like both as individuals while simultaneously together building towards a future and a family and all of the big things. And that can be like, wow.
All the big things, yeah.
It's beautiful, it's exciting, it's amazing, and it's a lot. But to go back to mirrors and self-love, actually, I think one of the things that I'm really learning, and like, I haven't been single for 2 years. I was single for a couple months before we got together. That was an interesting one. I think that my past relationships have really been places where I kind of like shrunk my self-love, in places where I felt like I needed to prove myself. When I was very young, my first encounter with a relationship was a very abusive relationship in all forms, which caused me to have complex PTSD, and that kind of like trickled through in my next relationships, where I just wasn't aware of loving myself and having self-love, because for me, the fact that someone wouldn't abuse me was already showing love, where actually someone loving you means someone admiring every part of you, where I was really used and addicted as well. Like, I have to take responsibility for that. I felt this almost addiction to proving myself, because as long as someone would tell me like, you're not good enough, I could prove myself, and then I could feel like I loved myself because I had this goal to work towards. And now in our relationship, that's not the case. And sometimes it's really funny, because then I find myself, like, for example, last week when I was really emotional, I knew that I have the space and the room to ask Jack to be like, hey, actually, I'm not feeling so good this week. Can you just support me? And then every part of me is like, no, you have to do this yourself. And then I go in my head and I'm like, wait, but if I actually show them these parts of myself, he's gonna hate me. And it got to a point where I was like, oh, I would really love for him to support me right now, but I don't want to ask about it, because then he's gonna have a go at me later today and be like, no, you're a terrible person because you asked me to be there for you. And I think that that is a beautiful mirror of ideas that I have and ways that I have kind of like my self-worth not fully as self-love, not fully, because I'm capable of loving myself in that capacity and allowing myself the space to, for example, work from home, lay in bed while working, so I can like give my body love. But then it comes to in a relationship, and every part of me kind of like creeps off and being like, but if I show this part of me to him, he's not gonna find me good enough. He's gonna want to break up with me. He's gonna yell at me for crying. And then when you don't do that, which is very healthy, I'm confused.
Nuance, right? Just because I feel like this is a good point to flip the thing. I feel like the nuance here is like, for me, is like you feeling like you couldn't ask me for support because you felt like I was going to look at you and be like, oh, you know, like she's always needing support. Like it's going to drag me away from things that I need to do, that, you know, when in fact, actually all I want her to do is to ask me for support, and not to, and this is, you know, this is a thing for most men, and I guess some women that don't communicate, is for the woman to expect sometimes the man, and vice versa, for the person to act in a certain way without actually stating what they need. And there was a time where obviously I said to you, like, I don't mind that you're asking me. I just want you to come to me and say, Jack, I want this from you. And for me then to be able to go, okay, I see Nadine and she's asking me directly for this. Therefore, I know how she feels. I know what she needs. And that therefore it's easier for me to give it to her. As in, rather than not saying anything and then expecting me to be a certain way or expecting the partner to be a
I do
certain way.
want to bring the nuance here that for me, and I think a lot of people with a very similar brain to me, like a lot of people who have experienced pretty severe trauma in their lives,
Of
like
course.
they isolate. So it's not even me expecting Jack to be there. It's just me being,
Your brain saying
my
that.
brain
Yeah.
is like, you have to do all of this by yourself and you don't allow anyone in. But then what you do is kind of like all the walls go up and you just sit there and cry and you're trying to fix everything by yourself, where isolation oftentimes doesn't help you at all, because in the
No.
end, all of us need connection and all of us need love. And
We all need love.
we all need love.
Love and connection.
And we can give, this is actually a fun one, like we can give ourselves a lot of love, and self-love is absolutely sufficient in a lot of ways, but sometimes we also just need love from someone else. And I think that self-love is also acknowledging the moments where we need love from someone else and ask for that. And one of the ways that I'm still learning self-love is realizing I don't have to do everything by myself, and it's safe for me to be like, hey, actually, I don't want to do this alone. I need you to support me.
Yeah.
Or to just be me in my mess instead of me in my, I can do this. I'm perfectly fine. Like, everything about me is happy and I have everything together.
That's what
I'm
we
a
all say,
perfect
huh?
little girl.
I'm perfect. That's what the ego says, huh? But yeah, I think so self-love, when did you start first practicing self-love? Like at what point did you feel, I mean, I guess we all do subconsciously from a very young age, probably. We do things that we like to do and enjoy because we know it makes us feel good. But I feel like the older we get, the more we forget those things and the more we get sidetracked about other things. So when did you start to actually actively and intentfully, with intentions like, oh, I need to do this because this is going to make me feel better, or I need to journal, or I need to meditate?
For me, that point is not that long ago, actually. I think that with the way my brain was wired, with like having complex PTSD, I did a lot of things and I was constantly doing, and I was doing great. And I was even doing a lot of spiritual practices, but up to like 2 years ago, I was just, and that's also my background in human rights. Like, I really saw my worth if I was doing something in service of others, because then I could see their benefit from me, so I could see how I would be good enough. And I think that actually in January, when I was in Rishikesh, I had a really clear moment of, actually, wait, like, I deserve to live my dreams and to create a life that I want instead of create a life in service of others.
Yeah.
And the life that I want will still be in service of others, but it's not so likely to be in service of others. So to really, really start loving myself, I think that was in January. Even though I've been on this spiritual path for like, how old am I? 7 years. Like, it really took me a long time. Also because I constantly put myself in situations in which I felt like I had to restrict myself. And that isn't actively loving yourself, then you're just constantly fighting. So really, really loving yourself, I think, and choosing out of love for yourself, I think I started doing that in January instead of years ago, which I would have loved to do, but that just wasn't the case. To really in Dutch, there's actually a really beautiful song. Fun fact, I love listening to Dutch songs because I forget so much Dutch because I constantly speak English that I listen to Dutch music now, which is hilarious because my whole life living in the Netherlands, I never listened to
The
Dutch
Dutch
music.
feminist music.
Dutch
What do you call it? Would you call it feminist rage music? Is that what you call it?
Sometimes I love.
That's what you
Okay,
call it?
we have this amazing singer. She's called Sophie Straat, and she just makes very like feminist political songs, and they're very fun. I listen to them in the gym, and sometimes I make Jack listen to them, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
What
And I'm
is
like,
this?
"It's fun," but that's not the only one. We have this really beautiful song in Dutch, and it's like, "I love myself," and it's basically a song explaining like how you love yourself and you need to have that deep connection of love with yourself in order to be able to give other people love. Because as long as you don't have that connection with yourself, you're always going to look outside of
Side
yourself,
of
and
it.
you're never gonna feel fulfilled. And that's one of my most beautiful. I'll make you listen to it.
Mm.
You're not gonna understand it, but it's really beautiful.
I think as well, yeah, send me it. I want to hear it. I think also is important to point out there was a time in my life where I self-love was definitely not a thing. It was like self-hate, if anything, you know? Like I was doing things to hate myself. I was doing things to destroy and sabotage anything good in my life at one point. Um, and there'll be some people maybe that may come across this thinking they hear self-love and they think I can't do that. It's not possible for me to love myself. And that's like a really hard place to be in. And I really sympathize with a lot of people that feel that, because it's a very real feeling to have, like that you just don't love yourself at all. And sometimes it's really hard to see any sort of love for yourself. So for those people, I would just want to say that it won't always be that way, and you will find a time where something will happen, something very small will happen, or something very big will happen that will make you start to show yourself more love and to understand and see yourself through that lens.
And I feel like if I can join in on this, like self-love is also, it's not like a point where you're like, now I love
Yeah,
myself.
you have to build it,
It's
right? All
something
the
you
time.
build, but it's also a journey. And like with everything, there are moments in my life where I love myself so much and I'm able and capable of showing myself so much love and like really consistently choosing life out of love for myself. And there are moments where there it's still a little bit harder and it goes up and down and up and down. And I think that that's very healthy as well, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a consistent practice, just like
Mm,
almost everything in your life. Like choosing to love yourself is a choice you make every day.
yeah.
And I think it's one of the most important choices we make every day. Like before you can do anything else, you have to do it out of love for yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
there is such a fine line. Like a simple example is going to the gym. Like you can go to the gym from a place of, I want to make myself feel healthy. I want to feel as confident as I can. I want like my body to be good. Or you can go to the gym and be like, okay, I'm absolutely not good enough. I'm
Mm-hmm.
ugly. I need to lose 10 kilograms of weight and I'm a terrible human being. And this will maybe make me a little bit better.
Mm,
And I think that it can fluctuate. And it's
mm,
really good to be aware of like the reason why we're doing things and learning that it's okay to love ourselves, because for some people it might feel a little bit selfish,
yeah.
like, or there's guilt and shame around feeling like I'm gonna give myself more love. Like
Mm,
there is a lot of feelings tied to that, and that's okay. Like it
yeah.
is a journey and it's a beautiful journey. And I feel like another important thing is as well, like, you don't have to be perfect before you go into connection with other people. A
Mm,
lot of people might sit there and feel like, I have to love myself and I have to be perfect, and only then I can have a romantic relationship, for example. Whereas I feel that you will never be perfect and you will never be done, and you can heal only so much by yourself. Some things you have to heal in connection, and it's okay to have a romantic relationship when you don't have all your shit together,
mm,
as long as you're open and honest and you're working on yourself and you're not asking the other person to deal with all of your problems and take like a back seat in it.
mm.
Like, you don't have to love yourself 100% every day
No.
before you can be in a romantic
Oh, it's
relationship.
not normal to love it, to feel that every single day. But obviously, that
If you do feel that, that's also okay.
even
That's
every single
amazing.
day, I don't particularly say to myself, "Oh, I need to do something today that is going to show myself love." But I know that by going to work, by pursuing my goals, by going to the gym, like these are all things that I know are good for me. So it's not like and that's again where like habits and routines come in, because like you said, with your Saturday in the morning, it's very much of like a routine. So it's something that you know that your body needs. So you just develop this routine and habit. I think the other important thing to say as well is that self-love is sort of like glorified as this kind of like really amazing feeling and amazing, like everyone has to have self-love. And this self-love, I tell you, is not easy. Like it's not easy to have for yourself, because in building self-love for yourself, you have to make a lot of hard decisions. You have to make a lot of decisions that aren't easy, things like letting go of friends that don't serve you anymore, letting go of habits or toxic behaviors that you have that are hard to get rid of. You know, these are things that are really, really tough, but it's showing you that you're doing it because you're loving yourself, and you know you need to do this to, you know, to love yourself more and to get to a better place. So it's like, it's not easy. Like, it's really, really
It's
tough,
living
and you have to
with
make really hard decisions and really tough conversations with yourself, and accept a lot of things about yourself that maybe for a long time you haven't accepted. And again, that's another thing, is just accepting some of the things about yourself is a way of showing yourself love, because you're understanding that at the core of yourself, you are just love. There is nothing else. And like Nadine said, we are perfect in, you know, in every way at the core, but obviously all of these things get put on top of us, and all this trauma and all of these experiences and stuff like that, that shapes our reality to make us feel like we don't love ourselves, when actually deep down at the core we always have.
I think while you were talking, like what really popped up in my head is also like loving yourself isn't being fast in like, this is who I am and I love this. It is allowing yourself to evolve and getting to know yourself a little bit more. Like, to me, loving something is really being curious and getting to know that person or yourself a little bit more every day, and embracing yourself a little bit more every day, and living with integrity, which indeed means making choices that aren't always as comfortable. Like, for example, sometimes you're gonna have to put a boundary with someone out
Mm,
of love for yourself.
mm,
And the fact it can be easy to put that boundary, but then upholding the boundary can feel really hard because maybe it's gonna affect you in a negative way, or maybe you're gonna feel like, oh, am I allowed to do this? Like, is it okay if I make this decision? Like, do I have to apologize to the rest of the world? And I think loving yourself means really learning to live with integrity with yourself and getting to know yourself deeper and deeper and deeper, and being able to look at every part of yourself, especially the parts that are maybe a little bit less pretty,
mm.
maybe a little like you
Ugly
don't
parts,
really like
the good,
them.
bad, and the ugly.
The ugly. There's a lot of
We all have
ugly,
the
and there's
ugly.
so much beauty in the ugly.
We all have the ugly. We all have the beautiful. We have everything. Do you know? I had a thought a minute ago. What we should do as a podcast?
What do
We
you
should
want to
put the
do?
podcast on. Just get super high on the podcast. Just smoke a joint together on the podcast and see what comes out.
I
That could be
don't
so
talk
fun.
anymore if I get
Could be
high.
so fun though.
I
You
can-
would talk though. If we were doing a podcast, you would.
You've never really seen me
Let's
that high.
let's put this out there. Would anyone like to see that? Me and Nadine get really, really high smoking weed. Anyone?
I prefer to talk to the clouds than to humans when I'm
It could be
high.
fun though. It could be a fun one to see what happens. What
Maybe I
comes
can
out.
translate what the clouds are telling.
Maybe.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Sorry, we haven't done that yet as a couple. We haven't actually got high together, have we?
No.
We should.
Birthday.
On my birthday, we did a little, yeah. Well, we should do that one night.
Okay, Jack.
Mm.
How do you feel like us being in a couple affects the way you love yourself?
Ooh, good one. I feel like being with someone in a relationship that listens to you, and more importantly, mirrors back things about yourself that you need to work on. I know that to be the best version of myself, I need to accept that the things you mirror to me are things I need to work on. And without having that, I wouldn't be able to become a better person. I wouldn't be able to love myself even more, because the things that trigger me or the things that make me feel uncomfortable are the things that are pointing towards me having to work on those things, right? And working on them things means I have to accept them, and I have to let them go, and I have to work through them. And in doing that, I learn that I'm not fucked up, you know, and I'm not fucked up, and that I'm just a human, and I have emotions and I have experiences, and working through them without having someone to deeply mirror them to me, but not only that, but be able to speak about it and communicate it from a safe place rather than from somewhere that's abusive or toxic, which can have a very different effect. And which is why a lot of people suppress a lot of their stuff, because when they openly talk about it, it gets shut down because the other person isn't willing to hold it. And now we've had situations where we've had difficult conversations about certain things, and it's always met with this understanding of, okay, like, this is how we feel, and there's never been any aggression or any, you know, anything like that. It's always just been sit down, talk, maybe some tears sometimes, maybe this, that, but that's totally normal, you know? And it's teaching me so much being in a relationship with somebody that can do that. And I haven't had that in my relationships. And that was down to me as well as the other
There
part.
is a
I wasn't
responsibility
able
for
to
yourself.
communicate as I can now. And yeah, it just makes me super happy. Like it inspires me. I want to create a future with somebody that has similar goals to me, that wants to go in the same sort of direction. And of course you make compromise, but yeah, it's important to me that we share the same ethos, the same passion, which we do. And yeah.
I think honestly, like if I look back at my relationships, and I've been in an abusive relationship and very toxic dynamics as well, in which I also had a responsibility. In the end, if I look back at it, like as much as I can have frustration about the things that happened to me, I had a responsibility. And the biggest lesson I've learned from that is still loving myself more. Like
Mm,
I can wholeheartedly sit here and say, I think that being in very toxic dynamics has taught me more about loving myself than anything else.
mm,
Even though in those relationships, I was not loving myself at all.
mhm,
But having experienced that really taught me to love myself. And it was a harsh lesson, but it generally did. So I think that a little bit of compassion for yourself if you're in a dynamic that is maybe toxic, or there is maybe some dynamics that aren't really good. Like, yes, that's really sad, and yes, that's really bad, and I would never sit here and be like, "It's okay," because it's not,
mm,
and we shouldn't normalize that, but at the same time, I feel like there are two nuances to that, which is one, we have a responsibility,
mhm,
and it's super easy to sit here and be like, "You're responsible for what happens in your life." If you're really in an abusive or toxic dynamic, it's incredibly difficult to get out of that. We have to acknowledge that, but in the end, it will always teach us something. And for me, being in those dynamics has really taught me to love myself more and
mm,
more and more. And I'm really grateful for that, even though I'm not grateful for some of the actions of some of my ex partners, as much
mm.
as I'm not proud of some of my actions. Let's
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah, no, exactly. And that's the thing is as well, is like now I have I have a lot more compassion for my exes in a way, because I know at times I did things that I wasn't proud of, and they did things they weren't proud of, and you know, it just gave me more compassion for them. But I think self-love is something very beautiful, and is something to navigate in your life um, when it comes up for you. But what do you think is like, I was going to ask a question, what do you think is like your main source of self-love, or like how you show yourself the love the most? For me would be like, I noticed recently in at least the last 2 years that whenever I feel triggered by something, and wherever I feel emotional, um, I used to take that inwards as like I'm a bad person, I'm
Hmm.
wrong, I am fucked up, I'm this, I'm that, right? And now it's very easy for me to dissociate that and just say, no, like this is my emotions, it's not me, it's just my emotion, and it's something that's moving through me. It's the trigger is not me, it's my past experiences and my limiting beliefs and the patterning of my brain that makes me think like that. And I know that underneath all of that, as I said, is this perfect, soul, this perfect love that, yeah. So I always go back to that now, and I always, instead of it, I just give myself more acceptance. Like if I feel shit and I think I'm thinking negatively or whatever, I can just sit there now and just be like, okay, let's just let it move. Let's move it out. Let's shake it out. Let's do some flow, and not tie my self-worth to that, which has helped me so much, because now I don't tie them things to how good I am. Before I did a lot. I'd think if I had a bad feeling about someone, it's like, oh, I'm fucked up for thinking that way. Or, oh, if I felt really bad in the morning, like I didn't want to get out of bed, oh, that's because I'm a bad person and I'm depressive and I'm this and that. So I guess that's like the main thing that I notice about self-love in myself now. It's just more acceptance. What about you?
Yeah.
Hi, 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 hi.
I've
Hi, hi, hi.
no, come on.
What?
If you want to make fun of me, you have to do at least one round of kapalbati. How are your hands? Do we have? No, no, no.
Like this.
Foot 30. No, this. What is this? What is this? That was
Fine,
not
show me.
kapalbati.
Show me.
Why do you make me do it? Which one do you want? You get to choose one.
No, one. Do
The
yeah, this one.
kapalbati one.
Yeah.
Ah. 5 cramps. This
Okay,
is
so
not comfortable.
you go inwards.
No, what you do is when you breathe in, the belly goes out. And you breathe in naturally. And when you breathe out, you pull the belly in and you breathe out forcefully through the nose.
Ah, okay. I can't see her face. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah.
So, yeah, that was Kapalbhati. For those who don't know what it is, it's also known as the breath of fire. It's really fun. Gives you a lot of energy. Try it out. Do 30 rounds. Please do it seated down so you don't get dizzy. Enjoy it. But
So you breathe. So you're breathing.
you breathe into the belly
Yeah,
through the
outwards.
nose. So, yeah, the belly goes out. You breathe out, the belly goes in, and you pull like everything in.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that. So people don't know that. They now know that. I did know that. I just forgot.
Yeah. No, that's a different one. Okay.
Back to the point.
Back to the point. Myself, I think for me, it's more of, as I said earlier, expressing myself, like allowing myself to be every form of who I am in relationship to others, because it's really easy for me to express myself in all my forms and to realize like I have a lot of sides to me, because I can be really emotional, but I also have a lot of fire in me and can be like, let's go. And like really passionate and ambitious, but also really soft and emotional. And I feel like it's really easy to me to allow all those parts of me to be there when I'm by myself and when I'm creating for myself. But what I'm learning more and more is to express that outwardly, which is actually really funny, because anyone who knows me from when I used to live in Rotterdam like 3 years ago will probably say, like, if you ask about me, like, oh yeah, she's super expressive in like her clothing style and in the way she is, like, and I used to be like that, but it used to be really one facet of me, which is like this, not even picture perfect, because I never really complied with the norms, but still like this polished version of me.
I always complied with the norms.
I was a bit
stuck in the
no, I didn't
being
like
normal and being accepted for being like everyone else, which is just a lot of bullshit.
I was a bit against that. Like, I always wanted to do it my own way, but it was still like the very successful form. So I would like rather share about all the things that went well in my life instead of sit there and be like, fuck, like I can be sad as well. I can be like, I really try to portray myself as this really fierce, strong person with emotions, but like has everything under control. And for me to express the vulnerable parts of myself and the parts of myself where I'm like, actually, I don't need you to fix my life, but just give me a hug for 10 minutes. Like, that is really me loving myself and me allowing myself to be seen and me seeing myself in that as well. And I think that that is the biggest act of loving myself that I can do, because I know I can hold myself and I've been doing that for a really long time. But for me to allow those vulnerable parts to come out and to be like, hey, actually, I need you not to fix me, but to just hold me for a second, is loving myself.
What do you think is a good way someone can start to practice self-love? Very simple.
Get to know yourself. Spend time with yourself. Like, learn more about yourself, because I feel like
journaling's a good one for that, right?
Journaling, but also just create art, like plan.
I used to journal a lot. I don't journal anymore. Very rarely. Like I journal if I really need to. I actually type out on my. You have to journal. Yeah, I type it out on my laptop in my notes rather than writing it down. Same sort of thing. But I used to journal every single day, a lot during the day.
It's amazing.
But the more you work through your stuff and the more you get to know yourself, actually, I feel like the less you do feel like you need to. But actually,
you want to know something funny?
There was a point where I was like, oh, I have to journal because I'm on this path. And now I'm like, actually, I don't feel like I need to as much.
I think we all have our own ways. For me, like, you see me tidying up the house, right? That's me having a conversation with myself. Like, for me, what really helps is generally if I tidy up the house or anything, it's literally me having a conversation. It's as if there are two versions of me in my head and they're talking to each other. It's like a full-blown, no, I sound like a silly person, but
I see it happening sometimes as well.
It's like a full-blown conversation.
I can see it. Your eyes are like, you're like no, I'm joking. I can see when you're having a conversation with yourself. I feel like we all do that. Like the good and the, like the little devil sometimes on the shoulders being like, hang on, you're this, you're that.
It really helps. And like having those conversations with yourself. But to get back to how can you show love to yourself, I feel like it's less about showing love to yourself and more about getting to know yourself. Because the more you get to know yourself and you spend time with yourself, you learn what is actually you without all the clutter that is everything around you. And by learning what is you, you will have the answer of what will help you love yourself, because that's different for everyone. Like for some people, meditating really helps. Other people really feel like, when they have to sit down. So it's
I like
really about
meditating, but not so much anymore. Not so much. I do like a few times a week. Not every day. Like, this is the thing, right? Is there were
like
times again where I was
flowing with
meditating
the
every
dragging.
day, like religiously, and it got to a point where when I stopped meditating so much, I was like, oh, like I feel bad because I don't meditate so much no more. But it's because actually I don't need to. I don't feel like I need to, and we use these things as tools. She does this. She does this in random places. She just starts stretching.
I think that's very healthy.
Yeah, I like the style today.
Thank you.
I like the headband. I always love the headband. It's always a thing.
Scarf.
It's a scarf. I like it when you wear the scarf like this. I really like it.
But guys, have we seen? I want to point attention to this. Have we seen the fact that Jack is wearing a crop top today?
Oh, do we have to point this out?
You want to show it up?
Do we have to point this out?
I really like it.
Okay. So we have
You're
this.
pulling me out of my comfort zone.
So I am wearing this like kind of crop top today, and this is going a bit off subject, but it's not actually. It's kind of tied to subject because it's tied to actually expressing myself, right? So I never used to have much style, right? My style used to be just like...
I've seen pictures of Jack.
I used to wear Gucci and Prada and all of these like high-end brands that just everybody else wore, with a pair of ripped denim jeans and a pair of Louis Vuitton trainers.
Do you remember?
Not cool.
We actually were FaceTiming one day and we were sending each other pictures of when we were younger. I've seen the pictures of Jack's style. It was very... mainstream. Very mainstream. My style has never really been
very copying everybody else, very not expressive.
Yeah, I can
just trying to look cool and look expensive because that's what people wanted people to look like, blah, blah, blah. And I always looked at people and envied people's style. I always used to try and have my own style within that mask, within that like, oh, I'm expensive and I'm worth this and I can spend £1,000 on a t-shirt, right? So anyway, since I've been traveling, I've been playing around with my style a little bit and expressing my style. And yeah, there's more of like the kind of punky style that I like. And yeah, I don't see why, like, for me, for wearing a t-shirt like this, like half kind of t-shirt, for me, I'll be honest, before I would be like, I'd never wear that. Like, that's girly. Like, it's a girly top, you know? And
I like it.
And now
really
I actually
nice.
feel comfortable in it because it's actually a style that I kind of like, or I do like, not kind of like, I do like. And it's practical. It's hot. I can wear like half a t-shirt. I get to get my belly out, like, you know?
He gets to show his belly.
Show my abs off. And yeah, even this morning we had a conversation, didn't we? I went to put it on and I was like, oh, I don't quite feel it. Like, it's something uncomfortable. And it's not uncomfortable. I feel comfortable in it now. Wasn't actually going to wear it on the podcast, but Nadine was like, no, you need to wear it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I feel like you should
it's like, so I wasn't going to wear it, but in my head I was thinking, why shouldn't I be able to wear what I want to wear? And I don't care what anyone else thinks. But there was this slight thing this morning of like, oh, well, people are going to think of this. Like, I don't wear this normally. So what are people going to think of it? And I guess it doesn't, see, we always do this. I guess it doesn't matter to me what people think as long as I feel comfortable in it. And yeah, and that's it.
I think clothes are a really beautiful way of expressing yourself.
Clothes
it's so much fun.
Clothing brand still is coming.
Sometimes Jack makes me wear black, and it was really funny.
I wear a lot of black. That is the only thing.
I
wear a lot of black. I wear a lot of dark colours. I don't wear so many different bright colours. I would like to start wearing more creamy white colours and maybe blues, but I need to find the clothes. Like, I'm going to start upselling. This is actually an upsell. So what we did is we cut the t-shirt in half. We like kind of cut it on the shoulders and stuff, and yeah, it was like super fun to like make something new out of something I already had. But I do definitely want to try and grab a few more bits. Like, I know kind of, I was looking at some stuff this morning, like little ideas that I want to make.
It's really funny as well how other people perceive fashion, because like I wear a lot of colors, a lot of like.
Can I just finish my point though?
No.
Can I finish my point? You do look like a gypsy today. The point I'm trying to make is that by expressing myself, in the way of wearing what I want to wear is showing myself self-love, because I'm showing myself that my opinion is what matters and no one else's. And we shouldn't ever conform or wear or do anything just to please others, right? We should do it for ourselves. And then in doing that, this is what I was saying about making the hard decisions and stepping out of those behaviors of always trying to please people, is that by doing that, you take your power back and you say to yourself, I am enough. I am perfect the way I am. And that to me is like, yeah, is the main thing. So
I think that's
yeah,
beautiful.
you might see me in some more crazy clothes over the next few.
Right.
You know, the other thing that was that I was in my mind this morning as well was when I was driving to thingy, I was like, 32. Like, should I be dressing a different way? Like, should I be dressing my age? Like, is that dressing my age?
What is dressing your
This is what I mean, but
age?
that's what went through my head. Should I be wearing like a polo shirt and some nice shorts stuff, or am I okay to wear what I want to wear? So it's like,
I think you should always wear
of
what you want to
course.
wear.
And I know a few people, I've met a few characters along the way traveling, which wear crazy outfits, and they're like way in their 50s, 60s, and I love it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
So,
But I think the funny thing is also how other people perceive us. So is what I wanted to go off on is like, I oftentimes wear a lot of color. I have a pretty distinctive style, I would say. Like, you can really see clothes and be like, oh, that's Nadine. And then last Sunday, I was having cramps. I was annoyed. So I wore one of Jack's pants, which were black. And then I had to wear a top. And I was like, none of my tops really look nice with this. So I was wearing one of his tops as well. So I was like in a full black outfit. And for the whole day, I think at least 8 people came up to me and were like, oh my God, I never see you in black. Or people would just look at me and be like, you don't look like yourself. And it's so funny as well how other people perceive you and have this like idea of you. And it made me laugh because I indeed almost never wear like really baggy black clothes. But was it comfortable that day? Yeah. Did it make me feel good? Yeah. But it's so funny as well to see like how the world interacts with your style and your expression of style. And if you have a specific expression of style, how people expect that of you as well. It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I just want to add, if anyone is out there is watching our podcast, listen to it on Spotify, reach out to us on Instagram. We'd love to connect with you and speak to you, get your ideas on what we could talk about. We have many ideas, but we always want to like try and cover some of the topics that people want to talk about too.
And I feel like if anyone is struggling with learning how to love yourself and you feel like you need a conversation, please reach out to either of us. We're always happy to have a chat and to be there because it's a journey and we all need someone to hold our hand along the
big journey, huge journey.
Yeah, I hope that I would love to challenge you, all of you who are listening, to do one thing for yourself to show yourself love today. Whatever way that is, it can be 5 minutes, it can be an hour, it can be the whole day, but do at least one thing.
So yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Love you all so much. I'll speak to you very, very soon.